Hello everyone on YouTube. In this video, I really want to help out the beginners who are playing Tekken and maybe this is your first time playing a fighting game. So I've noticed a lot of people go straight into online, into ranked match, and they just get wrecked by everyone there. I've been reading chats from different Tekken streams, reading comments on social media posts, and it seems the number one thing everybody does is going straight into rank. If this is your first fighting game ever, rank is not a good idea. You're gonna get destroyed. What you should do instead is go straight into practice mode. That's what you should do, because you need to learn the game. Before you go to online, you need to learn how the game works and how to play. One thing you can do is go into story mode. That will give you an idea of how the game plays. Overall, story mode is pretty easy. There's a few hard parts, but most people can do story mode without ever learning how to play Tekken. Another thing you can do is arcade quest. This is where you can find the in-game tutorial for the game. Tekken did a really good job with presenting this. They have a tutorial that's really short, it's only like 2 minutes long. And then they put you in a bunch of matches against the CPU. Then they give you another tutorial that's only like 1 or 2 minutes long. And you keep following this loop until you finish arcade quest. And I think that's the right way of doing it, giving you a little at a time and letting you practice what you learn. But if you don't want to do story mode or arcade quest and you just want to go straight into playing the game, straight into matches and straight into fighting other people, then you can skip all of that and just go straight into practice mode. If this is your first fighting game, practice should be your first and main mode. Now, what do you do in practice mode? Well, first we're going to choose a side. Side doesn't matter, it's preference. And then you're going to choose a character. Just choose a character that you like, that you're interested in. For this video, I'm just going to choose Kuma. And then for the CPU, it doesn't matter. Just choose any character. And for the stage, you want to choose a stage that's big. Right now, I believe the biggest stage is Yakushima. And Colosseum of Fate is also pretty big. And another option is you can do Descent into the Subconscious. This stage has 3 levels. The bottom level has a really big area. We're gonna go ahead and choose that one so I can show you how to set it up. And so the first thing you want to do is go into options, go to restart settings, restart position, and go to default 3. This means so that every time you restart, you'll start on the 3rd floor of the stage. If I restart, we'll go to a 3rd floor. So this area is a lot bigger than the other floors. If you choose Yakushima or Colosseum of Fate, you can skip all of this. So once you're in practice mode, what you want to do is go into the move list. And Tekken 8 has 2 tabs in the move list. The first tab is the main techniques. To be honest, the moves in this area are not very good. And there's a lot of stuff missing that should be here. So we're just going to skip this. And we're going to go to the next tab, which is all techniques. So everything in main techniques can be found in all techniques as well, except for combos and maybe frame traps. You don't need to know that right now. What we should be learning are the moves of the character. That way you know what to do when you're in a match. So the first section is the heat system and how it affects that character. For now we can skip this. And then we have heat moves. So these are moves that enter heat. We can also skip this for now, because all this stuff is specific only to heat. And then you have a rage move, which is the same for every character. And then you have your normal moves. And this is where the moves start for the character. So you want to come here to normal moves. You want to learn all the moves your character can do. This is how you learn what your character can do. That's how you know all your options when fighting another person. I see a lot of beginners online who don't even know their own character's move. So the first thing you should do is learn all of your moves. And yeah, this might be a little overwhelming for some people because some characters have over 100 moves. I am working on a guide that explains the move list a little more in detail, and I will also share some tips on how to memorize the whole list. It's not out yet, but keep an eye on it. You want to start on normal moves? Start with the first one. You can do a couple things here. You can play the demo to see a demo of what the move is supposed to look like. So this move looks like this. And a cool thing about Tekken is you can press triangle on PlayStation or Y on Xbox, and that will actually pin it to the actual game. So now you can practice the move. and look at the move as you're doing it. Feels like that. You can also go to the next move and the previous move, and you can see the buttons at the bottom depending on what console you have. And you just want to go one by one and learn all of them. Learn how to do them all and memorize how to do them. And pay attention to what they do. Like this one, that's a high mid mid, and it launches them in the air. So keep that in mind and just go down the move list. That's all you have to do, and it's a very important step a lot of beginners seem to skip, or they're a little overconfident and they think they can figure it out on their own, so they just go straight into online. Don't do that. Go to practice mode, look at the move list. This is really important. I watched a video on YouTube the other day of some random person who played Tekken for the first time, and it was their first fighting game. And the first thing they did when they launched the game is they went straight into ranked match, and they had no idea what to do, and they kept losing. They had like a 10 losing streak. And that problem could have been solved if he went to practice mode instead and just looked at the move list. If he just looked at the move list, he probably could have won some of those matches. Once you learn your moves, you basically want to come back up here and look at your heat stuff and see how the heat system affects your character. So for example, Kuma has special moves like this one, the Wind Bear Fist. He can use during heat. So we can put it on the screen. We can press our heat button to go into heat. And then we can do the move. Now we see what the move looks like. Right, and that's specific to Kuma, and it only works while he's in heat. And then your heat moves are the moves that let you go into heat. So this is the one I did. That's how you enter heat. But you can do other ones. For example, you can do this one. That will also make you go into heat. Right, these are called heat engagers. And these are all your heat engagers, as well as some other heat specific moves. And after learning the move list and going over the heat system stuff, the next thing I would recommend is punishment training. So the way punishment training works is here you'll find a list of different moves your opponent can do. In this case, we chose Kazuya as the CPU. So these are some of Kazuya's moves that you can punish, meaning after they do the move, you can hit them instantly and it's guaranteed. But you can only hit them with very specific moves. And so what punishment training does, it does two things. It tells you what the best move is against it, and it lets you practice it. So here you can select all of them if you want to practice against all of them, or you can deselect all of them and just practice one of them. And then we're just going to go into normal. So now Kazuya is going to do the same move over and over, and we can practice punishing it. So what that means is we can use that move that the game is recommending to us. It will be guaranteed after we block his move. Let's try it. See, it was guaranteed. It will always hit. Block, punish. It will always hit. If we're too slow, CPU is just gonna block. We gotta get the timing right. Like that. So we see the best move against the move Kazuya is currently doing, and we can actually practice the timing of it. So this is a really good tool. This is a very good fundamental that a lot of beginners don't know about, right? Everyone says the beginners never block. Well, they never block because they never know what to do. But with punishment training, it tells you what to do. In this case, if you block that move, there's something you can do. So that was just one of Kazuya's moves. He obviously has more. You can choose another one, practice using that one. So now the recommended punish for us is different. We have to punish it with a different move now. But it's the same idea. You block his move, and then the next move we do is guaranteed. If we get the timing right. And if we do the actual move. Because not all moves are guaranteed. If I do a slower move like this, it's never guaranteed. But if we do the move that's recommended to us, that's always guaranteed. And they can't block it. And once again, if you're too slow, the CPU is just gonna block it. And it's not guaranteed. So you have to get the timing right. So as soon as you block it, you do the move. So you want to go through these moves. These are not all of the moves where you can do this, because Zuya has other moves, but these are kind of like the common ones that you will see. And ideally you want to do this with every single character in the game. And yeah, that's gonna take a very long time. That's why people say Tekken is a hard game. There's a lot of things you need to do to get better. But doing this is better than not even knowing about it. Once you've done punishment training, you're comfortable using your moves and doing the inputs and have memorized them. It may take you more than one day to memorize them. It might take you a couple days, maybe a couple weeks to memorize all the moves. But you should know all your characters' moves. That's why most Tekken players only play 1 or 2 characters. There's a lot of moves to learn. But the final thing you may want to do is combos. So here we have combo challenges and sample combos. I would say stay with sample combos. It's more simpler and it just gives you the combo straight up. You can ignore the first one, that's for heat, and it's not even that good. And just focus on the other combos. My tip here is to only learn one combo. You honestly only need to learn one combo. I've been playing Kuma recently and I only know one combo with Kuma, and it's gotten me really far. That's the only combo I know with Kuma. It's the same combo I use with every launcher. So for you, I would suggest doing the same thing. Do the same combo for every launcher. Which launcher should you use? I would say use the most common one. Here in sample combos, the most common one is usually the first one or maybe the second section. As you can see here, the launcher for this one. So down forward 2-1 is a very common launcher for Kuma. Up forward 3 is also very common. And I would say start with the easy one. You see the stars there, that means how difficult the combo is. So I would say start with the first one. You can also pin it to the game and practice it. So just go ahead and do it. Start with the first one. If you feel you can do it and it's pretty easy, you can go to the next one, which is a little harder, and do that one. And if you're able to do that one, I would say stick with that one. That's really all you need to do. Just do one combo. You don't need to learn all of them. You don't need to learn the most optimized combo either. This combo does 66 damage. That's actually pretty good. For a sample combo, this is actually really good. Actually, I think it does more than the combo I do. Yeah, it does 1 more damage than the combo I do. So this is a good... So using sample combo is good. It's not bad. A lot of people say, oh, that was a sample combo. That's okay if you're just learning. You don't need to do the most optimized combo. And you can probably use the same combo for every launcher. So if I use a different launcher, but the same combo... In this case, it doesn't work. But you can go ahead and look for different combos. Maybe another one will work. This one works. You can use this one with 2 different launchers. Now the only thing you need to remember is the launcher, and you only remember one combo, right? So you only need one combo. I would suggest going for the higher damage one. These sample combos are not hard, are not too hard. If you want to take it to the next step, then learn the other combos with the other launchers. Some only work on hit, like this one. Some only work on counter hit. Some only work on while rising moves or when you're in heat, right? So try doing different combos. But in the beginning, I would suggest just choose one, stay with that one, practice doing it, and that will carry you far in the beginner ranks. I see beginner players drop their combos all the time, and it's because they don't remember how to do the combo. The first thing you want to do is practice your combo. Second thing you want to do, and only do that one combo. That way you don't have to think about what the combo is. If you only have one combo, you only need to remember one, which is a little more manageable than learning a bunch of combos. As you get better and as you become a more intermediate player, you can go ahead and learn the other combos. So those are my tips for when you're starting Tekken for the first time ever. Go to the practice mode, go into your move list, practice your moves, memorize and learn all your moves. Not just some, but all of them. Yes, some moves you will never use, but you should be aware they exist and you should know how to do them. And then go into punishment training. Figure out what are the recommended punishers for your character and try using them against various different characters. I would say start with the characters you're having trouble with, and then choose one simple combo from the sample combos menu. And after that, I recommend going and playing against the CPU. There's nothing wrong against playing against the CPU. It's totally fine. Just go to player versus CPU and play against the CPU. Right? This is how you apply the things you learn. Try doing your combo in a match. Try using different moves and see what happens. For difficulty, you can start on easy and work your way until you can get to ultra hard. To be honest, ultra hard is not hard at all. If you can get to ultra hard and get a very long win streak, you're ready for online. Or if you're still having trouble, you don't know your character's moves, you drop combos, etc., then I would say choose an easier difficulty, play a little more against the CPU until you're more comfortable with the game mechanics and how the game feels. When I first started playing Tekken, I played a lot against the CPU before I even went online for the first time ever. Right, so here you just want to do your moves. All the moves that you just learned, try doing them and see what works and what doesn't work. You know, try to block and see what the CPU does and try to punish them using the recommended punish. Right, there's nothing wrong playing against the CPU. This will actually make you a better player in the beginning than going straight into rank. Just do one combo. Right? Try doing different things. Use your launcher that you just learned. Try doing a combo. So a quick overview. If you're just starting Tekken for the first time, go into practice mode, learn your character's moves, and then do some punishment training. See what moves your character uses for punishing. Learn 1 or 2 combos, and that's all you need to learn for combos. You don't need to learn like 20 different combos, just learn one. And then don't be afraid of fighting the CPU and figuring out what works, what doesn't work. Getting comfortable with the game, getting comfortable with the inputs, and just getting a feel for how the game plays. You know, you can start on easy, and as it gets easier, you can always increase the difficulty. Essentially, you want to keep playing until you can play the CPU on ultra hard fairly consistently. If you can do that and have like a big win streak against ultra hard CPU, I would say you're ready to go online. The ultra hard CPU is not that hard, but I definitely recommend you do these tips if you really want to succeed at playing ranked and playing online versus other people. And you can always go back and review your moves again. You don't have to learn everything in one day. It may take you a couple of days to learn the whole character's move list. But I've been watching a lot of videos of people who are trying Tekken for the first time ever, and it's their first fighting game, and the first thing they do is go out to online and they don't even know how to do their character's moves. They're just pressing buttons, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. You could have avoided a lot of headache by just going to practice mode, looking at the move list, learning your character's moves, getting comfortable doing them, and then doing a couple matches with the CPU. That is better than going straight into rank. I've also played against a lot of beginner players that they don't know how to do their own moves. Right? There's nothing wrong with using practice mode. Everybody uses practice mode. That's how people get better. Even the pros use it. Practice mode should be your friend. That's where you should be spending most of your time when you're first learning. And punishment training is a great tool. If there's a character you're having trouble with, try going into punishment training. And maybe there's a move they keep commonly doing, and if it's there, that means you can punish it. So just look at the recommended move and hit him with it after you block it. I hope these tips help you to become a better player, but I would say if this is your first fighting game, avoid playing online until you at least learn the basics of the game. So the very fundamentals, moving around, pressing buttons, learning all your character's moves, and actually doing your character's moves. So that's it for this video. See you next time.